y'all? It's your boy Polo Cut says D. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Clipper, baby. You already know what it is, man. I'm right here with the gang, my motherfucking player partner, my boy.
Yeah, Manny Rocks back again. What up, y'all?
We got my boy.
Sir.
We got my motherfucking brother from another mother, Darian the Barbarian, baby.
Let's get it, baby.
And we got a dope ass guest today. We got my motherfucking homie, my client, a really good friend, a really good person, my boy, motherfucking David Nunez. Hey, I was about to say the wrong word.
Wow.
David
My
Nunez,
boy.
baby.
Hey, you're gonna say David Beckham, huh?
I was gonna say David Beckham,
Yeah,
bro.
Hey, it makes sense.
I was
though,
gonna say
'cause
David
he plays
Beckham.
like him.
Yeah, you know?
He looks like him too. A little
bends
cuter,
it like
though.
Beckham.
Nah, he's
you know?
cute. He's cuter
cuter.
though. Yeah.
His
How
hair's
are you,
way
bro?
nicer.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. I don't know for some reason why I was gonna say Nunez, but who's Nunez?
Me, fool?
Oh, you are Nunez then.
What the?
No. I wasn't gonna say
You
Nunez.
said Beckham.
No, I was gonna say Munoz. I was gonna say Munoz.
Oh, it's because
close.
it's because of Nico.
No, Nico's.
Nunez.
No.
Oh, I thought he was Munoz.
Yeah, no, he's not Munoz.
Oh, you got the Z's and the M mixed up. Munoz, Munoz.
Yeah, but it's Nunez.
Oh, it's that dyslexia.
Wow.
Nah, but I, you know, I was
boy,
like,
Munoz. Oh, shit.
Munoz.
hey, that shit would have been funny though, bro. That shit would be.
The pause was already funny, dog.
Oh yeah. Hey, but I got it right.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
better late than never.
Hey, you got to think about what you're gonna say before you say it.
Oh yeah,
Before you start recording.
because some of those past
You know what I'm
podcasts, bleh.
Before you
How you been, bro? How's everything?
Great. Tired. Everything's been popping off during the summer.
10 sessions today.
Yeah. 10 sessions.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those that don't know, is that a lot?
Yeah. Well, 10 hours at the
Whoa.
field.
Well, you got to let them know.
Well,
what
so
he
we,
does.
yeah, so,
Oh,
we
yeah,
can,
yeah,
so we
yeah.
can let the people know.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
So my boy David right here, he is a one-on-one personal trainer, or not trainer, but a private trainer, you could say.
Yeah.
One-on-one. He trains a lot of dope ass soccer players out there that are actually pretty well known and a lot of youth. But he, from what I see, he really sticks to talented people. You know, most of your players are very talented, and if not, you also help them out. And
I had a question though. You have a couple that excelled, right?
oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm saying.
have a few.
Like that excelled to a greater level.
professional.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that, but I want
Yeah.
to a level is more higher than
Shout
just.
out to my boy Caste.
Costa. Yep. Shout out to boy.
Caste.
Chewy's the
Chewy Gooey.
yeah. Chewy, what is he?
I didn't really get to train him. I got to coach him most of the time, and he knows it. And to this day, he's a very hothead player.
Yeah.
And it's passion that he has, and it's okay.
I can see that in
I
Yeah,
was
he has a
just
strong
there-
personality.
I was there more of a mentor for him and telling him to cool off and give him, the pros and cons of the decisions he was making and whatnot. So
Right. Yeah. Sensei.
I don't think I coached him enough to say, I trained him, I taught him. None of my players do I take credit for. By
Of
the
course,
way.
no,
None of my
yeah,
players do
yeah.
I say I made this player.
Oh yeah,
hell
no,
no.
for sure.
I
and that's
train
a good
them.
thing.
I give them, as a coach, I feel like they're going to learn some things they like from me, some things that they don't like, and they'll do the same with every coach that they have. So
Right.
I'm grain of sand in their beach.
a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
of
good. Yeah,
detail.
that's good, that's good.
In their work. A little
So,
detail.
but I mean, every player, I have some memorable moments with them.
Yeah.
That's
you
dope,
have,
bro.
you don't only train boys, but you train girls too, right?
Yeah. Boys
Have
and
you-
girls. I train from the youngest being 5.5 to the oldest being 30 years old.
Oh, damn.
When did you start actually training? Like you've been playing soccer your whole life?
I've been playing soccer my whole life. I've been playing club, semi-pro, never went pro, never played in college at UC.
Was
or,
that was your choice or?
now I see it, and it was my choice because
Right.
I didn't make the right decisions.
Okay, that's
So,
right. Yeah, that's
it
what I
was
meant.
my choice.
That's what I'm saying. That was your
Were you
choice,
skilled enough to?
I think I was. I mean, we've been in tournaments, like a Dallas Cup, or been playing in England, and teams.
Oh, really?
Teams looked at us when we were 15, 16 years old, and were like, who's this
shit.
little Mexican? Who's that little Mexican?
Yeah.
There was a group of 5 Mexicans on the team that we were
Right.
in, and they're like, who's that? Who's this? And I was the firstborn, so my parents didn't know much, like how to prepare me for school. Like it was
course,
more
of
like, oh,
course.
my first son, he's doing well.
Especially
He's
growing up
doing-
in this area too.
yeah,
It's a little rough.
so I mean, I always got asked like, why don't we go and try out in Mexico and whatnot. My
Oh, that
dad-
would have been a great thing for you. To
My
do,
dad's
probably.
like, just wait, you're too young. And at some point, you're too old when you're still
Yeah.
young,
Yeah. No, yeah,
So
for sure.
I just kept it at that. I was a bit more focused like on girls, on having fun. I didn't party and get wasted and all that in high school. I was very dedicated to soccer, but I was always like my talent. I you know those players that talent only gets you somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It'll get
And
so
you
far.
have to do more.
Yeah, no,
I was one of
definitely.
those players. I was good, but I needed to do more to get me past that.
Reminds me of Polo back in the
Discipline.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
Polo was really good
So
too. You know.
I didn't go start running until I got benched one day, you know, and then I would run. But then I'd get that starting spot, and there I go backing down.
Wait, you went to Southwest too?
No, I went to Hilltop actually.
So did you guys go to like the CIF and everything when you were playing?
Mhm.
Or- Oh,
I was
okay.
actually one of the only freshmen on varsity.
Oh shit.
I was the only freshman on varsity, and then sophomore year and junior. At the end of the day, high school now is completely different than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like players don't play high school; they just try and go pro.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there was really good talent.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
for sure.
really good talent. And yeah, I mean, I played varsity. I was that freshman. That's the thing. I was that freshman, made varsity. All the older cats knew him, so I got big headed, you know. And that's
yeah.
where I like nowadays. I chat with kids. I'm like, hey, yeah, you're gonna go pro, but you want to make it pro, but only 1 out of 100,000 make it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
get it together.
Get mentally and physically prepared. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
That's tough.
don't just
though.
think that with your talent.
It's tough though, as like a person trying to tell somebody, like a younger child. It's like if
Yeah.
you told your ninth grade self, you'd be like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
fool. But like, I mean, you know, sometimes you just got to put it in their head because it's up to them to choose or not if they're gonna want to do it or not. Because like I
Correct.
said, Polo was super good, and you know, like, you know, it's just decisions what you do, whatever you want to do. If you had a leadership in your crew, then you know things could have went a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the good thing is that he's actually like telling them
Helping them
Right.
out.
That's
like
what I'm
what
saying.
they need to work at.
That's probably
Yeah.
what
as opposed
you
to
needed
like
you
just
Hey, stop.
not knowing and
Yeah.
just doing whatever you're doing.
You probably
know?
needed a you back in the day. Now.
And to be honest, I had a me when I was young.
Oh damn! So
It's
you're just extra hard headed.
I had a me that was there for me that would, you know, taught me everything that I do on my one-on-ones, everything that I teach, the technique, methodology, and all that. I had someone. It's just I made it. I started playing at a good team. I was like, I don't need to go there. I'm playing on a great team.
Right.
I'll get looked at. I'm good enough. I should have kept doing. That's where I was like, I should have kept training with that one coach. I should have.
Yeah.
And shout out to Tomas. He knows I love him, and
Shout out
he
your boy, shout
and
out your
he
boy.
treats me like a son all the time. He's still to this day where I'm training. He's training. Tomas Serrano.
Where did he train at?
He trains. Yeah, I mean, when he trained me young, Palm Avenue, and
But he was a
And,
one-on-one coach as well.
he was a one-on-one coach.
Oh,
but he
okay.
trained. He coached at Rebels, and
Oh, okay.
And,
Don't mind.
um,
That sounds familiar.
yeah, sir. If he trained all over the place, but yeah, he was my me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got big headed. I should have listened, and now that's where I'm like, I try and level everyone out. Like, do this, do that, don't do that. Parents actually come out to me and say, David,
Can you talk
I'm
to
having
him?
this situation. What do you think? Okay, can you talk to them? And sometimes our session is that me just talking to them and
Yeah.
seeing what it's all about. Sometimes, I mean, I don't even consider it a session. I just hang out with them and
Especially that's
chat.
why when people say like you're not working if you're having fun, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that it's not work when you're having fun.
Mhm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I feel like that's what you're kind of saying. You know, you're just hanging out with these kids. You see what their potential is,
Mhm.
and that's just enough for you to like kind of not in a way like living through them, but still like showing them a better path than
Yep.
maybe you could have chose. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And that's sick.
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, if one of those guys makes it big, dude, like, if you made any impact on them, I'm pretty sure they're gonna always remember that, you know, and you're gonna be able to.
And even if they don't, just like for peace of mind, you know, he knows that in his head, like, dang, you know, for
He
him,
did it,
yeah,
you know?
like for him, not to tell anybody, but for him
Yeah.
to be like, you know what, I can do it with other people. If I can do it with one, then I can do it with more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's dope, bro.
And I'm pretty sure you're keeping a lot of kids like off the streets with all everything you do for them, you know.
Yes, I mean, I do. There's been players. I mean, to this day, no one knows that. At one point, I had two players living with me.
Oh shit, for real?
2 players living
No
with
way,
me.
That's dope.
They were on my on in the club that I was training. I was coaching at, and I was helping them out. Why? Maybe they didn't. They had good supportive like mom and parents, but you know, getting them out of the situation of them having to commute to school,
Right.
doing homeschooling, and me
That's
getting on
literally
top
a
of
movie.
them.
That's like a movie. That's
So-
like some movie shit.
so,
right there.
That's like some blindside.
Shout
shit.
out
Yeah,
to
that's what I
both
was
of
gonna
them.
say.
Shout out to both of them graduating this week, and I believe one of them has a 3.5 GPA who had bad grades when I
Yeah.
first met him.
That's a super
Damn.
tough situation.
3.5 GPA, and one who had great grades. Super easy for me to keep on track, and he's a valedictorian of his.
What?
online
Oh
school.
shit!
Oh, yeah,
What's
that's dope.
up?
So it's cool.
It's just that's a really tough situation to put yourself into too, especially living in San Diego. You know, it's like really tough. Like even just having one kid, but like you know, you have two that you're not. They're not
Yeah.
even your relatives, but you're taking them in. That's dope as fuck.
They prepared me to be a dad for sure, though.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm pretty sure that helps you.
The teenage years, so it's perfect.
And
That's
I'm
dope,
and I'm pretty sure like you help you train a lot of kids in different ages, so that also helps you out too with your kid. You know, like later on in life, you're gonna be like, oh, I remember this kid.
I remember how
What's
he was
go- you
acting.
know?
Okay, this is how I gotta talk to him.
Are you planning on having your kid in like do soccer or no, or whatever he wants?
Whatever.
I
he
mean,
wants.
obviously whatever he wants, but
The one thing I do want is for him to be athletic. I want him to be out there playing a
sure he
sport.
will.
I don't want him, not doing anything. I want him to be athletic, whether it's baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis,
Right.
anything, golf.
So
Even
the
if
one
he's
thing
good
that-
at golf, just
the
be
one
good at
thing
something.
That's tough too is like these days with the whole electronics and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Parents
hell
don't,
yeah.
Parents don't like to like raise their kids these days. You know what I mean? That's like the
it's so
hardest
easy
thing.
for you to just say like
And
here.
And the thing is, like with COVID and when it hit, having the only time that my kid could see his grandparents sometimes was FaceTime.
Right.
It's they learn. He learns.
no,
he
yeah.
knows how to use FaceTime and hang up on
Yeah,
someone
we've talked
and
about
answer.
this.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And he's swiping and whatnot. So I'm like, what? And he's only a year and 6 months. So
Right, right.
Oh yeah, my daughter was.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
before
on
he,
it.
before he even knew how to talk, he was always like, "Nah, I don't like this video."
He's like,
you know how to
"Nah."
exit. It's like
And
so
the next
crazy.
one is skip.
They pick
that.
shit up
But
so fast.
going back to like being athletic, the thing about soccer, what I liked about it, like growing up, like I played.
The
but I didn't-
condition?
Well, no, I played, but I didn't really play. Which I always tell people.
Like club.
The thing about around here in San Diego is cool is like soccer's big, right?
Yep.
That's one big thing. And growing up, I only wanted to play basketball and football, but my grandparents would always tell me, "Why don't you play something else?" And what I always tell people is like soccer, tennis, golf. Those kind of sports. You don't have to be like the biggest. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about soccer is one of those. Like you don't have to
Baseball.
you don't have to be the biggest guy. Like in football, basketball, you have to be a certain size. you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, nowadays you may have to be in
Right,
certain
right.
positions.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
a
of
goalkeeper,
course.
you can't be 5'4".
Right, right. But I mean, if
you
you
have
put-
to be 60.
But if you put like
60.
Messi versus
Yeah.
like
Zlatan.
something, yeah, you know what I mean. And it's
Yeah.
like, wow, this guy's 5'6" and the other guy's 6'4",
it
but they're
depends.
both.
It
pro.
depends on your positions.
But
In
it-
the midfield or
yeah.
maybe out wide, you can be
But I
short
mean,
up
it gives,
top.
like Messi would give people that are short, like say like me growing up.
Yeah, give hope. Yeah,
Exactly.
give some
But in
goals, like,
basketball
hey,
or football, you can't be a 5'6"
No, no, no,
Filipino
for sure.
dude talking about
True.
I want to join. Like,
True.
and that's the thing
True.
about soccer that's dope as fuck is like it's all around. You can be any size.
There's more opportunity for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, but it makes sense.
but
what
more
you're saying.
competition as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course. I mean,
I
you
was-
can't just be anybody.
I was reading like me that I have a daughter. I was reading that for the Olympics, if you want your daughter, for a girl, if you want your daughter to actually make it to the Olympics ever at all, to sign them up for rollerblading, hockey, but the one where you're rollerblading.
Okay.
'Cause that's an actual sport now in the
Right, right, right.
in the Olympics.
There's a
And
lot, there's a
their numbers are so low that
They need people.
they need people to go play. That any girl that
just
tries
play,
out,
you're going.
Yeah.
they make it because
I actually have a cousin
It's
who
like a
went to
small
Olympics.
community.
super small and it's new still. So
Yeah.
that's what they're
Roller
saying.
hockey.
Roller hockey, yeah.
And it's crazy.
That's
The
sick.
Olympics is pretty huge too. That's big.
Yeah,
bro.
hell yeah.
You know, it's a worldwide thing. My cousin was actually in the Olympics for like for gymnastics.
Uh-huh.
She was doing gymnastics since she was a kid, and just to be athletic when you get older. Like she's a cheerleader for UNLV too. So I was like to see my cousin being like in this Olympic team, like the kids Olympics. That's already like crazy as hell.
Yeah, hell yeah,
It's a
big time.
worldwide thing. You know what I mean?
well, like the guy that fought Tank Davis, Romero, Rolly
yeah,
Romero.
Yeah, that dude.
I don't know if I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm not, but someone told me that he was an Olympic boxer.
Yeah, he was.
And he was.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, the way he fights is more about points, like connecting punches rather than knocking
Knocking,
out.
yeah,
Because in the Olympics, you don't want to knock someone out. You want to win by points.
Right,
I mean, if you knock them out, that's good. But
Yeah.
from what I know, you want to score points, and that's what he was doing. That's why he was keeping up with Tank and
Well, that
and
dude actually,
boxing
he's
him.
only had like a couple of fights, bro.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like professional fights. He said he He's the person who has the least fights that made it to like a worldwide pay-per-view fight. You know, he kept saying that. He's like, I'm fighting you, man. You've been boxing since you were a kid, and I just started when I was 17. Yeah. So like, shout out to that dude for that. You know, to start him young is even better. You know,
for sure.
You know,
you prep him better and shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, bro, something that it's something that I've always had I've always, thought about it. I remember back in the day when I used to play soccer. Back in the day, your coach would obviously train you during your practice, and you would do like a lot of, you would practice you would run and do drills and stuff like that.
Cardio and all that.
Cardio. That was mainly what you did. You would do touching, and then what do you call that when you guys are in a circle and then the person in the middle has to take the ball away from you and whatever?
Yeah, like a rondo.
Yeah. We would do all that, but I heard now, I was talking to some kids the other day. They were saying that soccer's evolved so much that now you actually like work on plays and you guys,
So everyone thinks that coaching is, I'm just gonna volunteer. It's easy,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Has it really evolved like that?
Coaches don't need to really get paid. Like, it's so much work.
Yeah,
to coaching. Like right now, thankfully, I'm working just strictly on one-on-ones, and just doing that. But when coaching a team, you plan out your year. You have your periodization. It's called periodization. You do your long-term goals, your short-term goals. You write down the tournaments you're in. You try and get your schedule as soon as possible. And then with your periodization, you put your macro cycle, your micro cycles, like obviously the short-term goals. Say for the month of January, or say we're starting the season in August. So July is your preseason.
Right.
So first 2 weeks you do fitness. And in those you do Monday, Tuesday. You do what you're doing, you write down what you're doing.
Yeah.
How many hours they're going to train. How many hours do they need to recover.
Right.
Shit.
It's
and then
detailed.
plus, like you say, you only got one person. Imagine the whole team. You have fucking, I don't even know how many people are on
Yeah,
the
so
team.
when you have a team as a coach, sometimes you have an assistant coach. Sometimes I usually never did. And recently I didn't have. Back in the day, I would have a dad that would jump in and say, "Hey, I'll help you out with anything." So we would go and we would chit chat on what I wanted to work on. So maybe the first month is defending.
Right.
The main topic is defending.
Yeah,
and then
for
we
any
go
sport,
we go into defending in the final in the defensive third and the middle third. So the field is split into three.
Yeah.
Defensive third, middle third, attacking third. We're working on just defending in the defensive third to the middle third. And then we go from the middle third to the attacking third.
That's just
and
a
then
lot,
so you split all that.
Tough.
You can't when you train kids you only train for an hour and a half. You want
Right.
to train what you play. You don't play for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Of course.
The games are 90 minutes,
Yeah.
So you're there and you have to plan out your session for an hour and a half. And so your warm up, you don't want to just go jog for 3 laps and you're warmed up. You try and do your warm ups as much as you can with the ball. So the exercise, you want to have a topic, and then in that topic is we're going to defend the middle channel and force out wide, force out to the left, because we're playing a good team we're playing a team that's strong on the right side, so we want to force them left.
Yeah, no, soccer sounds
So then
super technical,
you're just
bro.
like going straight into detail. And
Super
detail and
technical. That's
detail.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a technical ass sport.
It's like
bro.
chess,
It's
right?
tough,
You gotta
bro.
like
But
see
you-
what they're doing and shit.
So you soccer has evolved from like the way it used to be
Big time.
back in the day.
Big time. I mean, nowadays, like every coach has to go and like get a license, and yes,
Training.
some licenses are better than the other. If you go to Europe, if you go to South America, but a license is a license, and learning something is always good. As a
yeah,
coach,
sure. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always gonna learn something.
Even from your students.
like a
Even
license
for my
to coach.
students,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You
So-
know,
Like you actually have to go to school and like get certified to be one.
Yeah.
Like you just can't be like, oh, I'm.
So now, back in the day, you used to go and take your license. It took you a week. Now, like my C, it took me 2 weeks, but my B, it took me a whole year.
what's the
Is it
difference?
still A?
So A is like the top, and I can have a director, youth A, or I can have a pro A.
Oh, shit.
So it just depends which route you want to go. I just have my B right now. I don't want to stop. I want to keep, and I want to eventually get my
Have
A.
you ever wanted to like coach like high schoolers or?
Not high school.
Oh, okay.
High
Club,
school.
you
high
want to do
school-
more of a club eventually or no?
I want. At some point, I want to be, say, on an MLS program, like coaching
okay.
youth. Coaching youth.
That's dope. Yeah.
What would you need to get to that?
Nothing. I've had conversations. I just at the moment with the baby, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to make that move yet.
Yeah,
I've had
yeah.
conversations that link me close to something that I really want to do.
And that's a dream. of
I
yours.
just told them to hold off.
Is that
And-
dream
and-
of yours though? Like
Yeah,
That's dope.
and I trust me, I love coaching one-on-one, and all my players I have that close connection with, and the parents, and getting text messages. So and so scored 2 goals this weekend.
Oh, hell
Look
yeah.
at this shot, and then they send me the video and everything that we worked on.
Is that-
how to receive
that
the
is
ball,
I see.
how to put the ball.
I see you
And
post
they,
that.
they
Dope,
just
man.
rip shots. I'm like,
I know. I always see you post.
Like I
those.
taught them that. Like
Hell
we
yeah.
trained
Well,
hours for that.
and it's not like the parents always thanks to you, and I tell them it's not thanks to me. There's players that have more talent that don't learn anything from me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's thanks to your son.
And
Yeah.
and the parents and you. It's
The
a three.
parent- the
It's
parents-
a, it's,
yes,
a, it's
yes,
all
yes.
three of you guys. You know.
Yes,
Yeah, you
and
gotta it's trust.
I always thank the player, and I thank the parent. I'm like, thanks you for having confidence
course.
in me,
And
having the
pushing them.
trust in
That
me.
trust,
You're
trust.
trusting me to develop your son, or your daughter. So I always tell them, no, thank you for trusting me
Yeah.
and having that confidence to develop your son or daughter. And then it's thanks to them. They're the ones that accept my critique. Not lots of players
So
are
how
out
did
there.
you even start? Like you got one person and they just like word of mouth.
So I always coached, and then one day one parent's like, "Hey, can you work with my son?" And
They just the ball rolled from
Jay
there?
Esparza. I don't know if you ever met Jay Esparza. He played with Mo and everyone at Cholos, and I was like, I can do it, and beginner, couple cones, few balls, because I was already coaching teams. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Again, I had one of the best one-on-one coaches that I can think of, and it's Tomas. And I was like, okay, we'll work on that. Obviously, little by little, I was like, okay, everything started, because it's different to just tell someone, go through cones and shoot.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And really, like, go into detail. Sometimes my kids aren't tired from my session because I'm like, look. And this is one thing that I ask them. I'm like, what's your strongest leg? Which one do you kick the hardest with? Or
My right,
which
obviously.
no, not kick the hardest. Which one's your strongest leg?
Am I right?
Your right? And that's where I tell players, okay,
Let's work on your left.
is it really your right? Because your left is what keeps you balanced
Yeah.
Right.
and holds all your weight.
Yeah.
Your
then-
left
Yeah.
bears all your weight, which allows you to swing
So
and get a good shot.
Oh,
They're
so
just
you get
confident
you
on
get your strength from your right if you really
From-
think about
you
it.
get
then.
your strength from your left when you're shooting.
I'm sorry,
with
from your left. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I meant to say.
so I'm like, the only reason why you can't shoot with your left is because your right one,
Damn.
that's your strongest,
That's
actually
crazy.
isn't your strongest.
Never
Yeah.
thought about
Let's
that.
work on that balance. And then they work that balance, and then they're shooting with their right. They're shooting with their left. They're like, what? And
Yeah,
I
that's
joke around,
crazy.
like, yeah,
I
there's
didn't
no
think
weak
about
foot.
it like that till now. That's crazy.
That makes a lot.
Usually
of
when someone shoots with their non-dominant foot, they're almost falling, so their go-to thing is to try and step.
right.
So you don't get that full swing. You just get a little chipper and step because I don't
Yeah.
want to fall.
Oh,
So you know what I mean?
yeah.
You barely hit it, and
You don't go
step.
through all the way with
no,
it.
Yeah.
and you can't even lock your ankle because you're so worried about kicking and stepping,
Yeah.
and falling that you
Damn.
you're
Yeah,
just stepping. So
you're
I'm
right,
like-
you're right.
So we work on little details like that.
That's
Okay, keep your
crazy.
shoulder back because if your shoulder goes forward, you're hooking that ball. Like little details like that.
That's what I'm
parents are like,
saying, yeah.
Hey, that's cool. So when there's coaches out there one-on-one, and again, I'm never bashing no coach. Never saying, oh, this coach sucks. Props to him for being out there and having the courage to be out there and work with kids. That's all good because I'm sure that kid's going to learn something from that player.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, he's going to learn something. And for me as a coach, I don't say I'm the best because I still need lots of stuff to learn. You know what I mean? So, but the one thing I focus on is if I'm going to train a kid and he's going to go through cones, it's not going to go through cones to look good and make me feel like, okay, I'm getting paid. Cool. He's going to go through cones, but he's going to make it look smooth and good because every touch is perfect and his body weight and his balance and whatnot. So
Yeah, that's super
That's
detailed.
why parents respect me, and when they get a chance to work with me, they're like, how can we get more sessions? And unfortunately, right now through the summer, I'm booked, And
Hey, congrats.
thankfully,
That's for- congratulations on
fortunately
being
and
there.
unfortunately.
yeah, it's good.
How,
I
how
tell
long?
everyone.
How long do like people usually stick with you? Like, if they're like, "Hey, I want you to, coach my son."
Or what's
Is it
your
like
longest-
a one?
what's your longest?
My longest, I've had a player, Yael, who I believe I started training at 10. He's now 16, gonna be 17.
Nice.
So it's
do you
it's long
do you do
term.
like day training sometimes, or is you try to focus more on long term?
Well, we do weekly, once a week or twice a week if we can. Every player, I mean, once a week. If I'm gonna train you 1 week and not see you for the month and then see you again, it's pointless.
Right.
At that point, I'll be like, okay, we'll wait till the summer when I have more availability and I can get you in.
That makes
But
sense.
if I'm gonna work with someone, I'm gonna work with you once a week, twice a week. Let's get
At least
going.
once a week for.
At least, because even then, you train with me, and then there's 6 days in between, or 7
Right.
days
Yeah.
in between, and then
You got 6 days to unlearn everything.
yeah,
you fucking,
yeah, you get fit, and by the third day, you're unfit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all muscle memory. Like if we work on just on receiving and shooting, you're gonna what did we just do last week? So
Yeah.
That's like, it's like with anything you study, you know what I mean? You got to hammer that shit in your head.
Right. You were saying that you can get like when you were talking about the licensing or the licenses that you get. You mentioned like where people get their licenses from here, Europe, or whatever like that. When you made it sound like people like if you get a training in Europe, it sounded like to me that when you go to Europe and you go for a training out there, I'm guessing it's a better training or
it's everyone has their own ways of coaching. Their own styles of coaching. I'm sure everyone has their periodization, which is their ear, like how they work their ear and how they're going to get to maximize each player. But in Europe, it may be no running, where in England, it might be more running, more fitness, and they add it. So everywhere's going to be different. Spain's all about touching and building out the back, keeping the ball on the ground. U.S., they're trying to do that, but then they have some things that some coaches don't like. I hear a lot of bashing where it's like, oh, this team sucks, this nation sucks in soccer, and that and this and this. Everywhere you're gonna find something good, something bad. I'm just open about stuff.
I know that in I don't know if it's
So-
England or like in Europe, they do a lot of touches, no? Like
Yeah, long balls.
Long balls because they're
So-
pretty they're taller and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
if you
I'm
go to
guessing.
South Africa, they're fast.
Yeah.
I mean, not South Africa. If you go to Africa, Nigeria,
Yeah.
Algeria plays a bit more. It just depends
Strong points.
what country you're in and whatnot. So some play more kickball. Some are smaller, Argentina, Spain, so they want to touch the ball more. Some are fast on the ground, but fast on the ground. England, you know what I mean? So everywhere plays different, and everyone's going to say they have the best mythology or the best licensing. And at the end of the day, it's getting all the licenses you can get so you can absorb and pick and choose what works best for you.
How do you prepare yourself when you have a new kid, when you start training a new kid?
So the first thing I say is I have parents that reach out and like, hey, he plays here, he plays that, and he does this. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. At the end of the day, he's on the soccer field and they're all going to work on receiving the ball, passing the ball, shooting the ball, on turning with the ball. So to me, it doesn't matter what position they're in. I may do some position-specific movements once I know what position they're playing in. But everything, the first day that I get them, I see their coordination. I look at their dribbling. I look at their passing. I look at all that stuff. You know what I mean? So the first day I tell them, look, today is not going to be the day you leave sweating unless you're really out of shape. But I look at all that stuff. I kick the ball at the player, and then off the back, I'll know what foot he likes because it's the foot that he's going to receive the ball with.
Yeah.
Touch the ball. I'm like, oh, you're right-footed. How'd you know? Like, you receive with your right foot.
Yeah.
So I usually start off with dribbling, one touch, one step, and then add another dribbling technique, and then see from there what they need to do. We go into passing the ball, receiving the ball. We go into some agility. That's like soccer-based type stuff. And then, shooting. And they go into detail. Okay, the balancing and how do you strike a ball and whatnot. So I focus a lot on striking the ball with laces. Because instep, anyone can do that. The worst player in the world can kick with their instep.
Yeah.
Not every player can hit with their laces. So for me, it's about striking the ball, and then if you shoot the ball, you play defense, and you need to clear the ball, you'll be able to.
Yeah.
If you need to switch the point of attack, you'll be able to. So that's why I'm always like, just strike the ball. And lots of coaches shoot on big goals. I just get 2 poles, and I put them 3 steps away, and we do an exercise, shoot in between the poles. Why? Because if you can aim and hit that target every single time, you'll be able to aim and hit the top bin, the side bin, the right bin. So to me, it's all about, shooting at a target instead of, sometimes I'll have a player shoot at a goal because we have a goal, and he'll bang it in, and I'm like, you didn't mean that.
Is there something that you look for when like someone? Do you take anyone as a client?
I look for players that are committed. Okay. If I have a player that I have to be begging, come to practice, you need this, you need that. No point
You're
in
not
me.
gonna waste your time
There's no
on
point
that.
in me chasing a player. You want to improve. That's where I'll take in young players. Yes, on the young players, I'll take them in if they're advanced in their age. I have a 5.5-year-old boy that I train, very advanced, but obviously needs little details, how to strengthen his shot, how to balance for his left foot pass and whatnot. And I'll take him in because it's easy to play. It's easy to teach him, and he gets it right away. He needs it, but it's easy for him to get. Where I've trained 5.5-year-olds, and sometimes parents are like, teach him how to shoot, and the kid doesn't know how to play. And for me, it's like, have him play, have him enjoy it, so he knows he wants to score. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Have him shoot a ball and score a goal, so he can celebrate that goal and know, oh, I want to hit it harder.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, it's a beginner, which is good. I can teach a kid how to shoot, dribble, but he doesn't know the excitement, the passion of it yet.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I like the little ones that have that passion already. Like, oh, I need to shoot harder because I want to score. And then I can teach them, because then they know why they're doing it, because there's an end result. And that end result is them celebrating that goal.
See, for me, the thing that I would celebrate more when I was playing soccer, I would celebrate more assisting than scoring. That was that's what I loved. Like I was a center mid, and I fucking loved like starting a play or assisting a goal, or like just. For me, what I enjoyed the most was doing like a pass on target, like that was what fucking turned me on, oh fuck, did you see my pass, or like shit like that. That was my thing.
You got turned on by that?
I mean, I celebrated that shit, when I would fuck, especially when you're like in a,
because it's like you kind of have to see things happen before they happen.
Yeah. And like when I would play, like I was that player that I could put the ball in front of you. I could put, I could I used to love doing free kicks because I had good accuracy with my passes. That's what I enjoyed the most.
That's sick.
Have you ever had to fire anybody?
Fire anyone?
Yeah,
no,
I've never, hey, like, nah, I don't like you.
I've had a
like you're fucking
I've had a
up.
cup players.
Oh yeah, well that's I think that's what he meant.
Yeah,
cut.
yeah.
I've had
Like,
a cup
hey, you
players.
know what? You're not really working out with like what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I've had a cup players because of either parents getting not too involved, but causing problems for the team. Players themselves causing issues. Because if you have a sour apple.
Yeah,
It gets
for
all
sure.
of them.
Yeah.
It gets all of them sour and bad.
Yeah.
So I've had those issues for sure. It's not the thing with me is like I forgive and forget type of thing. So I one time, 2 times, I'm a nice guy where I have friends who are like, you know what, bye.
That's what I was gonna.
And
ask.
I've done that, and then they'll come back and we're like, we apologize. I'm like, okay, and then
Coach Carter shit.
but yes,
Starts
but
happening
but no. After if it's done once, if it's happened once and you're cut. And you come back, I'll forgive, but don't do that again.
Right.
know.
But I can imagine
where some
too-
coaches are like, bye.
No, I can
Never
imagine
wanna
like
see
some
you.
kids are like, not that they don't want to be there, but like their parents are like, oh, do this, do that, and then the kids are like, what do you like? Stop, like
Yeah.
or like you're saying like a parent will be like, oh, teach them how to score, and the kid doesn't even know how to play yet, and the parents just wants the kid to be a star, when it's like no,
The thing,
bro.
Yeah.
the thing
He's not
with
in that position.
Denial for sure.
the thing with parents and kids these days is social media, TV, YouTube, all that stuff. I love it, and everyone should be on it, and it's fine. But there has to be like it's not just like everyone sees Ronaldo, everyone sees Messi. Oh, he did that. I'm gonna go do it.
Right.
But all that work that was put, in before, where now kids are like, oh, I'm a star, and you're. Sometimes I'm like, hey, how much money do you make? Sheesh.
Yeah, of course.
You're making millions or what? Okay, no, there's no contract. Get your ass working. You know what I mean? Like, stop it.
Humble yourself down.
Yeah. So
Like I did that same like goal, like on the shit, or
like chill. Like parents nowadays,
They treat their sons
treat
like
us
they're
like they're
fucking
going
Ronaldo.
pro. It's
Yeah.
like we want everything free. Like what? Like we.
like,
have,
he's gonna be
like,
a star for sure.
And for me, like I've always helped kids out, like with scholarships and whatnot. Sometimes taking pay cuts so I can get players on there.
Oh, that's dope.
But it's like to a certain point, because then parents and kids take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm over here slaving away, trying to do everything that I can to get them that hotel room where I can put 5 kids, and then the parents out there at the bar or doing they're there with the whole family at the same trip. And I'm like, I could just put your son in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Because you said you needed the help, but then you're there with the whole family at a sick ass resort. I'm like, what?
Right.
But so on side of that, like, yes, I've had those. I've had to get rid of players and discipline and whatnot. And the thing with soccer these days is kids need to be a bit more disciplined. They just have
That's
to
for
grind it
sure.
out.
That's for sure.
Do they have to grind it out and be tired every day? No, but have discipline on what you eat, on what you're doing, how much you sleep. The extra little training that you're doing. If a coach tells you something, don't take it to heart. Take it as criticism and correct what they're saying you're doing, because every coach is going to be different. So then if you correct that one thing for that coach, then that perfects you for the next coach. And the next coach is going to not like something you don't do. He's not going to like something you do already. So then there you go, fixing that. So then when you weren't fit because that coach told you to get fit, you're going to show up to the next coach and be fit. So then this coach is going to tell you to correct something and take it as,
No, yeah. It's a ladder. You know what I mean?
Since you're a one-on-one type of coach, I'm pretty sure these kids that you're teaching, that you're developing, I'm pretty sure they all play for a team. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had the problem of you teaching your kids something and then they go to their team's practice or to a game and then the coach wants to change up their what you're teaching them?
No, because like when I coach my team, I focus on how we play. You know what I mean? As a team.
So
I focus on how he's receiving the ball just to get that ball. I'm receiving it from my left and taking it to my right, and what's the best way?
Do you talk to their coaches though, so you could get some type of like?
I talk to more to like nowadays, which is cool, is most coaches are doing like player analysis, player. There's all kinds of like little kind of like grading.
Like like a report card or something.
Like a type of report card. So they'll send that to the player and the parent, and then the parent's like, here, can you read this? And I'm like, yeah, that's I can see that. This I'm confused, but okay, we'll work with it. Some of it's mental, some of it's like you need to go in harder. Going in harder, like some parents like he doesn't go in hard on tackles. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. That's on him. He needs to be. Have some balls.
Lose the fear or something.
Lose the fear and just go get stuck in. I can work on his touch. And some parents are like, his decision making, he's too slow on it. I'm like, look, I'm going to give him confidence to receive that ball and have more time. But I can't help his decision making. That needs to be, if the coach says he's bad at decision making, then the coach has to bring an environment at practice with the entire team.
Yeah.
Because it's just me. What decision is he going to do if I kick him the ball? Like, there's nothing I can really do for him on decision making. So that's where the team needs to have that.
So what is your long-term goal with this career? Where do you want to? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be in when you're finally done and you're like, all right, this is where I want to be? And I don't necessarily mean a team, but at what level do you want to be eventually? Like when you're like, I made it. I'm happy where I'm at. This is where I want to stay.
Well, I always think that, and I always sit down with my wife, and I'm always like, where do I want to be? What do I want to do? Do I want to keep coaching one-on-ones? Do I want to coach teams? I love them both, and I don't know which one I would. At some point, I would want to coach, like I said, in the MLS program, whether it's LAFC, LA Galaxy, Seattle Sounders, any MLS team, and see if I can be good enough for that. I think I am. I still need work, though. Of course, I still need to work and improve in many areas. That's one of my goals. And then on the one-on-one basis is why not be working with the top tier pro players? You know what I mean? Like I work with a few already, but how about getting that one pro from our area for LA that hits me up like, hey, let's work.
Yeah.
I've had women's national team players reach out, and because of our scheduling and whatnot, we haven't been able to get those sessions in. But I'm around lots of players. But if I'm going to do the whole coaching thing, why not coach for an MLS team? Or if I'm doing the whole one-on-ones, why not work with all the pro players?
Would you like to be like the main coach or of a MLS team, or because I'm pretty sure there's different coaches, no? Like
so in the MLS program, I would love to start off in the youth program.
Oh, okay.
So be a head coach there,
Nice.
for 17s, for 15s, for 14s. Start off there and then still learn because there's still a lot of stuff I need to learn.
Yeah.
Before I even want to say I want to be a head coach at a MLS team, Or
what do you have to do to learn more? Do you have to go to take courses and shit?
For me, yeah. I mean, the course I can go and take a license course, which would help. But for me, it's all about it's like going to college and having that degree, that paper. But what really gets you that experience?
Yeah,
like right, it's
sure.
being in the game, already doing it. So for me, it would probably be like being in the MLS program and learning from like those experienced coaches. And even if they're not experienced, see what's not working for them and say, okay, cool, I'm going to learn not to do that. You know what I mean? You learn no matter what, whether it's good or bad. I always tell that. I always say that. You learn whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What's your favorite soccer and for your favorite league? Like,
yeah, so I mean, everyone knows it's the Spanish league.
Spanish,
and it's Real Madrid.
Do you feel like the way you coach has anything to do with that type of league? Like, does it have any similarities the way you coach your kids?
Well, I don't look for size. That's one thing. I don't this guy's the biggest player out there. I'm going to look for him. Where some coaches he's an athlete. I want him. I'm nah, I'm going to pick the little guy out there.
Underdog.
That's keeping possession of the ball. So yeah, I think it has value for me watching those and seeing. I'm always watching games and I see it as a coach. I don't see it as a spectator. I'm always like, oh shoot, they're playing this formation with this formation. Oh, okay, they're doing this to counteract that. So I'm always watching those games and seeing.
For sure, yeah.
And Real Madrid, one of my favorite teams. Do they play the best? No, but they try and counteract to certain things. And then sometimes they just play and win games because of their individualism. Their best players come out, and just because they have that logo on their jersey and whatnot, they win, where other teams are scared. Madrid wasn't the best team in the Champions League, but they beat the best teams, four the best teams in the tournament. So why are they not the best? Even though people say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They beat the best teams. Why are they not the best?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Nah.
Why? What are you? What's your team? That's why.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say Real Madrid would be my favorite, like in the Spanish league. But then again, I haven't really watched it lately. Like,
but just what is yours? Like, just in your head, like off top.
Spanish? I don't know. I would probably. I like Atletico de Madrid a lot. I like. I used to love Barcelona more than Real Madrid, but Real Madrid is killing it regardless. Like they're fucking.
I don't even know about soccer, and I know that team.
Their team is like.
I hear that team a lot.
Well, yeah, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they're like the top of the top, Yeah. But then you got Atletico, and then you have.
And as a coach, I learned from all three of them. I love watching. I'm a Madrid fan, and I love watching Atletico play sometimes, even though it's not the prettiest, but it gets the job done, and it's good to know everything because there's gonna be that day where I want to play like the best. I want to play. Yes, that's the next team. That's the next team.
That's his team, though.
Yes.
Hell nah.
So they were showing in the background. Janice was showing Club America. That's my second team.
Oh, hell
or not
no.
my second team. They're
Yeah,
both
well,
they're both-
they are
it's
they are
just I
somewhat
have-
of
I
a
have-
they are somewhat of a second team. So.
Yeah, well, you can't compare Madrid. You can't compare America.
'Cause obviously, the
Madrid
first team would
and-
probably be like, I don't know, Cruz
Yeah.
Azul or something.
Nah, you're tripping. But
There you go. That's what I want to hear.
You know what
I
I'm
wanna- I
saying?
wanna hear the
Tripping fool.
debates.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I'm a
you learn.
Cruz Azul fan.
You learn from watching all of them. You learn from watching Cruz Azul. You know, like what not to do if you want to lose.
That's why I say, like, for sure.
What to do if you
Right,
want to
that's
lose.
right.
What to do if you want to lose championships. So yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
like that, huh?
but
I'm more of a San Diego Sockers, you know.
Oh hell no.
indoor.
You know.
I like Southwest
SD,
High, but,
baby.
you know, it's all good.
Hey, okay, all right. Now, can you give me five of your top players in order from best to the from
All time?
first being the best. All right, give me an all time and then give me a current all time
time.
because
All time. I can't give one. I mean,
Top
Top
three.
five,
Top
top
three.
five. Top five.
I know, and I'll say my all-time top one. I'm always gonna say is Cuauhtémoc Blanco.
hell yeah, fire.
Cuauhtémoc Blanco.
He's on my top five.
Even though you can't compare him to like another one, El Fenómeno Ronaldo from Brazil, and then there's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Maradona, Hugo Sanchez.
You see,
Hey,
like,
let him talk. Let him go. Let him go.
I wouldn't like, even though Maradona, like, I didn't get to enjoy him. You know what I mean? I didn't get to enjoy him live
Okay.
for me to say, these are my.
Oh, all
top
right.
five
Well,
that
you're
I
saying
enjoyed,
all time though.
but all time that I've.
Oh,
seen.
okay.
All my time, at least.
But you never got to like watch his games like at
I
all.
did, but not really. You know,
Like,
like,
you never-
when
you've
World Cup '94 was the first.
You've never
was the
gone back and watched full
Yeah,
games.
but like I see
You're
it
talking-
now. I see it now, and it's like
He's doing
what
shit
he
that
did-
now people
now are doing
not,
like
not even the best players doing
yeah,
that. You know,
do it. You know
yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
right.
So that's why, like, it just evolves.
It's kind of like saying Michael Jordan and fucking
Yes,
LeBron. You know,
Yeah, that's what
Yes,
I was gonna
it's,
bring that up,
It's
too.
like MJ is MJ, and just because of that, like I got to watch him play, so that's why he's like my goat.
That's why
Yeah.
kids,
With
kids
Kobe,
these days don't even pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And LeBron is like, I love him. I'm like, dude, but LeBron, like MJ and Kobe couldn't do that, you know? But still, I'm still gonna pick MJ.
Okay.
Yeah, of course,
And-
of course. That's what
and-
I'm saying.
and-
Top
and
five for
Kobe.
you.
Okay, so give me your all-time five that you saw playing. Then I guess.
Cuauhtémoc Blanco, Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'll go Messi, and like there's just I could say
David
there's
Nunez?
no.
Ah.
There's like, you know, I could say Zidane or Thierry Henry. Like I'd
Okay,
say
what's yours
Zidane.
then? What's yours then?
I'd say Zidane.
All time?
Yeah, because me and Maddie don't know shit about soccer, so
Fuck.
we're listening to you
This
guys.
is a foreign language right now.
No, I'm learning.
All time.
But if we talk about extreme hopscotch, I fucking I own this bitch.
For me, Ronaldinho's one of the all
You
times.
see, and that's another one I missed. And there's just so many.
Ronaldi-
But it didn't
Ronaldinho's
come to your
one of
head, so
them.
it's not one.
I've always liked Wayne Rooney. He's a fucking badass. Cristiano Ronaldo. What's his name? Fucking. Oh my god. Nah. What's that Brazilian guy? The one that scored the goal like this? Roberto Carlos.
But you see, like
Badass,
he's not.
bro.
He's a.
What about that guy that
he's a-
played for
he's a-
Amsterdam? What's his name?
Amsterdam.
Not Amsterdam. What's that team I'd always play with? Fucking
Holland?
FIFA.
Nah, all right. You know what? It's because I'm missing a lot though. That's
Yeah,
fucked up
you
because
see?
like, look.
You're saying
all right,
Roberto
look.
Carlos, but there's way better players that could change the
Yeah,
game.
but, yeah, you're right.
Manchester
But
You know,
See-
just like I said, I didn't say Ronaldinho. I'm, oh shoot! Like,
yeah, you're right.
technically, he's way better than Cuauhtémoc Blanco, but Cuauhtémoc
Yeah,
like, holds something.
see, like in the
you know what I
Mexico
mean?
League, for me, like the ones that I grew up with that to me were like super fucking huge was like El Cabrito.
Cabrito Arellano.
Cabrito Arellano was badass. Palencia to me was like one of my top flip players ever, bro. Palencia, fucking Cuauhtémoc Blanco for sure. Probably the number one player.
Bro, I just like Ronaldo because he got married to those two bitches, you know,
Yeah,
Brazil. Like,
see
all
that.
right,
but
That's your
Ronaldo
type.
is,
Wasn't
beast,
that
bro.
Ronaldinho?
one of those, something
that
with the
was
R.
That was Ronaldinho.
Yeah,
Same.
Brazilian dude. That fool's the goat. Nah, but that fool's a freaking goat, bro. Like,
Is he?
Goat.
Ronaldinho.
yeah.
Yeah, like
But
he's a magician.
That fool's
bro.
a magician,
Yeah,
bro.
I've seen him,
Like
like,
this
use-
fool could literally just like he's standing beep, and he's fucking doing
The
some great
ball's
shit.
like fucking.
Yeah, badass.
That's why
man.
you got two.
But
Anyways,
yeah. Oh hell no, Chicharito no. That fool's
Because he's bad.
because he was a Chicharito would just score goals, but he would hunt, like Casagol, you know.
The thing is, everyone says.
But that's a good thing too.
Yeah, everyone says he's bad, and at the end of the day,
He would score goals.
I'm always using him as an example of how to move in the box. A lot of people are like, who moves the best in the box? In order to score,
Fart
you
box.
have to open up.
Yeah.
You have to be open. And he would take a defender one way and be at the other spot and get the cross and get some goals. So I use him as an example all the time with players. I'm like, hey, he's not the best technically, and you don't have to be the best technically.
Yeah.
You just have to be the best at one thing. And if he's good at, maneuvering from one space to another and opening up and getting goals, then do you and make that money and get recognized.
That's what my dad was telling me the other day. I was asking him like, because my dad loves fucking like soccer hardcore, and I was asking him like, what are the difference from the numbers? And then he would tell me like I think Maradona was what, a 9?
At 10.
A 10 or a 9? Okay, a 10. He would tell me that Maradona would move the ball around like crazy. Like he could move with the ball crazy. And then Hugo Sanchez was more of the guy that you have to put the ball where he wants it and he'll score for sure. Like you put it where he's asking you to give it to him, and he'll score 100%, you know? Like this fool scored 28 goals, like the Chilenita, like the ones where you like the scissor ones, the ones that are like
Backflips.
Backflips.
Yeah,
He scored 28 of them, bro. Like, and this fool used to
Like
play with
that,
Real
with the
Madrid. Yeah,
backflip.
Real Madrid. And then, like, my dad was telling me that one time he was having like beef with the goalie from the opposite team, and that he scored a goal like that, you know. And then the goalie told him like, "Oh, this is the fucking that was all luck. That's the fucking last time you'll ever score a goal on me again." And the next time they played, he was like, "All right, remember what you said? Yeah, trip out. Watch, I'm about to score another one right now." And then boom. Did it, fucking scored on him, and he was like, "What the fuck? I can't see shit no more," you know?
Yeah.
He was badass.
Drops mic.
He's a little nuts. He's a little nuts now, but yeah, he was badass.
Well, he's still. I know that his brother trains around here.
Yeah,
Or he used
his
to,
family.
Because I got to train with his brother a couple times.
His family, like not his family, but like brothers and siblings and nephews.
Live here now.
I mean, his nephew went to Marian Catholic when I was at Hilltop, so I would always play his brother.
Yeah.
So,
That's sick.
but I mean, yeah.
Are those people like you still keep in touch with since they're local?
No.
Or-
No. I don't know where his nephew's at no more.
Nah, that's my best friend. Nah, man.
Imagine, nah,
Outside
man. That's,
waiting, man.
that's fucking dope, man. So for everybody that's watching right now, how can they reach to you, bro? If they ever want to get any type of trainings from you?
Reach out to me at DN10 and 1 soccer training on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. Be patient with me. I try and go as quickly as possible and message back. Be patient with me if I'm booked. Try and get me on the next summer or the
You don't
next.
want to miss this
You
one.
know, reach out whenever you can. And if I don't have any times or any available spots, let's book it in the next spring break or anytime kids have school. Or if you're not in school, then I'm open all day.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
So make sure you guys shoot them a follow. Make sure you guys, if you guys need your kids or yourself, you need some type of training, make sure you hit up my boy because he is super dedicated. He's committed. He's serious. He's disciplined. And I've seen his players,
I send them
Make
all
a
here.
doing
to
big
get their
thing,
cash.
doing
I send
big
them all
thing.
here to get their
yeah,
cash.
no, real shit, dude. Thank you for that. I appreciate that because, I mean, thanks to you, I cut up a few soccer players that are
Yeah.
professional and they come around and they're here. Shout out to Caste and Chewy
Celebrity
and
barber.
a couple other soccer players that have came around, and people don't recognize them because they're not big, but who knows, man? One day,
Nah, they're big to us, man.
yeah, no, they're big
You
to
know?
us, but people they walk in and they're like any regular person, but
Right.
You mention like if we mention anything like, oh, they're professionals, everybody's like, oh, wow, that's dope,
Yeah,
like last time.
the vibe changes
Yeah,
real quick.
last time
It's cool.
Caste brought me a shirt, a jersey, and he signed it. We took pictures, and then everybody was like, "Who is that?" And then, "Oh, what the hell?" Like, it's pretty cool.
I like the
Shout out to
energy like
Yeah,
that brings to the shop. You know,
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure, all
like
the
super
way.
positive. Just like, oh, this is just proud.
yeah.
It's a good feeling having.
I would really love to.
people
I would
like
really
that.
love to like get in connection with them somehow and like go to the stadium and cut them up right there. Like,
That'd be
something
dope.
like that. That'd be super dope. That's what I
Have
would
Phil
really
doing
want.
a cut real quick.
Something.
That'll be tight. Empty
be pretty
stadium, just you two.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. We do have a giveaway that we gotta do. I don't know if is it ready? Yeah.
Giveaway
let's do that
time.
giveaway. We got a
That we gotta
$500.
do.
Yeah, that I gotta do.
That he would love to do.
Yeah.
Love it.
Where is it? Let me see. We're gonna give away I'm gonna give away $500. Ace of Fates is gonna give away $500.
Hey,
off
because
the
I pay my
Clipper,
rent.
Let me see.
Shout out to that barber cheapie. Yeah.
We'll do it live after. All right, let's do that then. All right, well, we're gonna do the giveaway after the podcast. Thank you guys for watching, man. It was a great time
Yeah.
with you. Thank you for coming, bro. You came through today.
Thank you,
I've been wanting to have this guy on the podcast for a long time. Hopefully you come back. You come back again, and we talk some more.
When you're a millionaire.
But, yeah, man. Hopefully once you're
Hopefully we're all
training fucking Real Madrid or LA
Always a
Galaxy or
pleasure.
something. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. You guys can follow me at Ace of Fates Barbershop and Tattoos, Polo Cuts, Darian_the_Barbarian, Manny Rocks with the Z. Shout out to Omatic Made It. We got Tatnese in the building, that barber cheapie, and we got Goyo Ka in the building for the first time in a
Goyo
long
Ka.
time. He don't want to be on the podcast because he's kind of scared. So we'll see you guys next time, baby. You already know what it is, man.